Yes, we are live from the Shenzhen-based Sports Center here on the southeast coast of China. A very warm welcome from myself, Tim Long, alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze. This is the big one. You can feel the energy in the building already, crackling with anticipation and excitement. The reigning MVP of the NBA looking to lift his team past the reigning world champions.
That's right. This is one of the marquee matchups of the tournament, and a lot of people before the tournament started, this is going to be a showcase of what lies ahead in the medal rounds. But with Greece faltering ever so slightly, and the United States, although they're 3-0, not playing to their absolute potential just at this point in time, both these teams would consider got a lot to give, but a little bit more weighing on the shoulders of the Greek team in this one, having already dropped a game in the tournament.
Greece had a comfortable 25-point win over Montenegro to start before getting stunned with a 1-point defeat to Brazil in Game 2. Kostas Sloukas missing one of his 3 foul shots with just 2 seconds to play that would have tied the game. Crucially, they recovered, though, to beat New Zealand by 6 on Thursday, pouring in 103 points. Not outstanding in any major statistical category so far, but shooting the ball pretty well. A tournament's 6th best, 48.9% from the field, and a 3rd best, 81.3% from the line. In the first round, they ranked 4th in assists, joint 5th in blocks, and 8th in points scored.
Yeah, this Greece team has got a lot of weapons that they can go to. They're sharing the minutes around. Of course, everyone's talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, arguably the best player in the tournament, the current NBA MVP. And there's going to be a lot more familiarity about the opposition tonight because he plays against these USA opponents on a day-in, day-out basis. And in fact, 2 of them are his actual teammates. So perhaps more in that comfort zone given the opposition tonight.
The USA have stretched their World Cup winning streak to 22 games by going 3-0 in the first round, but boy did they have a major scare. Comfortable wins over Czech Republic and Japan, but they scraped past Turkey by the skin of their teeth. Turkey missing 4 foul shots in a row in the final 9 seconds of overtime to lose by a single point to Greg Popovich's team. The USA were the superior rebounding team across all of the first round groups and towards the top in the defensive categories, but only the 18th most accurate shooting team of the 32 nations. Earlier today, Czech Republic beating Brazil by 22. The group is wide open. If Greece lose, they'll need to beat Czech Republic by 13 on Monday. If Greece win, then all teams will have a 3-1 record with 1 game to play, and both games on Monday would be winner takes all. Let's pause now for the 2 national anthems.
女士们、先生们，请全体起立，奏双方运动队国歌。首先演奏希腊国歌。And now, national anthem of United States of America. 下面演奏美国国歌。
Two world powers set to collide here in the second round at the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup. The USA looking to become the first ever nation to win 3 consecutive golds. Greece looking to end the 22-game winning streak that the Americans have put together since Greece won the last meeting between these two back in the 2006 semi-finals. All eyes are on Shenzhen this evening. We've got the full works, the rail cam, the sky cam, 20 cameras all together, full live stats support, and the referees all mic'd up for whenever we go to the video review.
It's a spectacular show. We've got a complete full house, and the American team, they bring out the very best in the fans as well, and a rowdy section of Greece fans, as you come to expect at these tournaments. So it's an incredible atmosphere in the stadium, and just Jason Tatum is another one that a superstar, or a rising superstar of the NBA. Apparently he won't be partaking in the game today, suffering an injury. And there we have a look at the officials for today's encounter.
From Serbia, the Philippines and Poland. Greece, of course, have Giannis Antetokounmpo, but they're led by 2 of Europe's best point guards, Nick Calathes and Kostas Sloukas, both all EuroLeague first-team members last season, combining for 12 assists a game so far here. Calathes scoring in double figures as well, and they're led in points by Olympiacos veteran Giorgos Printezis, who's averaging 16.3 a game, but Giannis isn't too far behind and really turned it up a notch in Game 3.
It's a star-studded lineup that's got plenty more to give than what we've seen, and today's the day they're hoping it all comes together. And one of those glue guys that you're talking about is the guard Kostas Sloukas. He's averaging 6.5 points. In fact, he's averaging exactly the same amount of points as he does assists. There you see it on the screen. Also a couple of rebounds, and he's vital. He's that link-up guy. He's the gel to the team, and despite the reasonably modest numbers, he's having an outstanding tournament. 20 assists, only the 2 turnovers. Phenomenal numbers in that regard.
And here we see the US team littered with stars, all-stars Kemba Walker and Chris Middleton at the forefront. Walker averaging team highs of 14.6.3 assists. No fewer than 6 players averaged in double figures for points in the first round. And future all-star Donovan Mitchell, very impressive. It's his 23rd birthday today, so happy birthday to him.
Yes, indeed. And Kemba Walker, you spoke about him. He's the only player to score 12-plus points for each of the first 3 games. And he's averaging 14 points a game and also leading the team in assists. And probably more importantly, in those clutch moments that we've seen so far, Coach Popovich puts the ball in his hands, gets him in an on-ball situation. A lot of faith being placed in Kemba Walker, who has had an outstanding season last year in the NBA.
World number 8 Greece, silver medalist back in 2006 when they beat the USA in the semi-finals. And the USA here under Greg Popovich, the world number 1, the most successful team in the history of international competition, 15-time Olympic champions, 5-time World Cup winners. They've won gold at each of the last 3 Olympic Games, both of the last 2 World Cups, 5 straight gold medals at major world events over the last 11 years, and looking to become the first ever team to win this tournament 3 times in a row.
And playing a lot of small ball throughout this tournament. They've got the big fella in the middle in Miles Turner, Mason Plumlee playing sparingly, but mixing it up on the offensive end in their lineups, and that's caused some problems. But as we saw against Turkey, still trying to find their mojo in a game that you would have thought they would have had much more of a margin. In fact, very, very lucky to get away with it. So this is going to be an even more difficult test for them tonight, because Greece really playing for survival.
Here we go. Sit tight, strap in, and hold on to your hats. The first ever World Cup to feature 32 teams across 8 venues. But right now, all eyes on Shenzhen for this showpiece showdown between the USA and Greece. We've got a brand new cup to mark such an historic tournament, the Naismith Trophy, 60 centimetres tall, made almost entirely of gold. These two desperate to get their hands on it. It is a matchup that would be fitting of the final in this raucous, rowdy and rocking arena. It's gut check time, it's goosebump time. Can you feel it? This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Two of the most talented nations in the history of the sport. A five-time and reigning world champion against a two-time European champion. Something's got to give in this crackling, sizzling, searing hot atmosphere in Shenzhen. Here goes Giannis, Antetokounmpo all the way through, setting the tone.
There is no other player in the world like him, a unique set of skills, and they're all on show there. Puts it to the floor and takes it to the United States.
And Donovan Mitchell answering right back. What a way for both of these two to get going.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo, going to be interesting to see how they match up on him. Harrison Barnes has got the assignment early on, and they are picking on him.
Giannis for three, a quick fire, 5 points right out of the gates.
He starts to knock down that three ball on a regular basis, and you just shut up shop. There is nothing you can do to stop the man.
Mitchell again, moving it on to Barnes this time. Now a chance for Kemba Walker to get on the ball. He pulls up just beyond the foul line and drains it.
How's the start by both teams? White hot.
There goes Giannis doing everything. Right now for Greece, the foul is on the floor. The basket won't count.
It is, and you can clearly see the intent of Greece. Get it to the current NBA League MVP. Get out of his way and let him do his thing. Pretty simple stuff, but highly effective when you got the skill sets of this great man.
The voice of former NBA champion Andrew Gaze alongside myself, Tim Long, here in China. Here's Calathes. Prodding and probing on the perimeter. Guarded by Walker. Calathes getting away. Had a look, went himself, and it's rejected. Ball in the hands of Giannis. Moved on to Papa Petru and a whistle.
Wow, it's been a white-hot start. Here you see the grab, this time by Harris, not moving his feet. First action comes from the hands and not the legs. And have a look at Turner going well above the basket for that rejection.
Only just got there before it hit the glass. Miles Turner. Here come Greece. More difficult for them to score. This time Papa Petru, though, picks up the pieces of his own miss.
Papa Petru there doing with less spectacular fashion what Giannis did early on, and every play they're just taking it to the United States. Everything's coming off the bounce.
Mitchell with another 7-7, and it's scintillating hot in Shenzhen. Calathes threatens the three, steps inside from the foul line. Too long, rebound USA. Here comes Kemba Walker. Forced away by the huge frame of Barusis, who then fouls him.
Yeah, had the mismatch. Barusis there, just sacrificing the foul, stopping. He knew he was going to beaten, all ends up. Wasn't sure with the help behind him. So the sacrificial foul, just to take the wind out of the ball a little bit. Greece playing up tempo, but they need to really be cautious about the tempo. I think that up and down game suits more the United States team.
5 for Antetokounmpo, 5 for Mitchell. So far, 7-7. Walker. Here's Donovan Mitchell again. Really feeling it early on, but he misses. A rebound, and Harris had it taken away. Look at this now, the roars in Shenzhen as Antetokounmpo came down the court at full pace, but turned it over.
Barnes did a good job of just putting on the brakes. Might have got away with one there. Could have been easily called for an offensive foul. But how's the pace of the big man when he puts it to the deck and he's in full flight going downhill? That is tough to stop.
Unbelievable athleticism from the 24-year-old. Inside is Turner. Nice move to get the better of Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo there, just a little late on that rotation.
The USA have the lead. Ball in the hands of Calathes, goes behind the back. Barousis on the perimeter. Antetokounmpo back to Giannis. Antetokounmpo again. Barousis looking to run some interference. Moves away inside. Giannis onto this near side to Papanikolaou. An air ball from him right at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, got to be cautious of being too Antetokounmpo conscious. That is the Greek team. Just putting him out the top, you could see the defense was packed in, and really not a lot of man and ball movement down the other end of the floor. Actually, Antetokounmpo, I take that back, he was there. That's just better offense. Better offense by Miles Turner to get around the intimidating presence of Antetokounmpo.
Kemba Walker bounce pass to Turner. Jump shot this time. Antetokounmpo the rebound. Barousis. Calathes wants it. Will get it. It bypasses him. Barousis clings onto it. Gets a chance one-on-one against the smaller player Joe Harris in a foul.
And even that, you saw that. They're a little 2-on-2 game on the right side, and they're spacing the floor. But once it's moved on here, everyone just standing around. Now, Barousis has got a lot of skills, and he can put it to the floor like you see there, but I think they need a little bit more movement on the weak side when that's going on.
Chris Middleton in the ball game. Antetokounmpo shoots over the top of Turner this time, misses. His red-hot start has started to cool down. Walker dizzying the defense. Can he force it in? Not quite.
Nice little shimmy to get open.
Calathes fires it in straight away. Oh my word! Antetokounmpo getting some MVP altitude.
No step, straight off 2 feet, and stuffs it in the rim as hard as he possibly could.
Middleton for 3. Can't answer back. Barousis, can he secure the rebound? No. Papanikolaou was saying perhaps that it came off a US player. Let's see. Oh, this is the dunk.
Beautiful. Just turns and stuffs it in. And you can see the size advantage he has. And that's the problem when he catches it that close to the basket. You really don't need any steps to gather any momentum to rise above the rim.
And the US have turned it over off the inbound.
That time Greece, a little 2-3 zone defense for the underneath out of bounds. And Greece look like they're willing to test the United States from the perimeter, try and keep it packed in and close out and take the odds to contested perimeter shots. Good strategy. Still a lot of firepower from the perimeter at the United States' disposal.
Calathes moving it on to Papapetru. Back to Calathes, who's led the EuroLeague in assists the last 2 seasons. Across to the far side, 3-point shot for Greece, won't go down. Rebound secured by Brown. And then a foul on Papanikolaou.
Yeah, Papanikolaou there, just a little too anxious. Comes in, gets his hand caught in the cookie jar, watch him reach in, thinks he's got it, and then there's the turn. That's where you got to let it go, because not a lot in that, but it's very, very hard for the officials to ignore.
Oh, Calathes trying to pick the pocket of Derek White. He also led the EuroLeague in steals the last 2 seasons. A foul this time, though.
Derek White coming off a head injury in that pre-tournament game against Australia. Took a nasty blow to the head. And in a similar type action, time, no harm.
Here is White. Turner the screen. He rolls inside. White being stuck to all the way by Calathes, and they're hunting in packs underneath Greece. Down the floor to Papapetru. Papanikolaou, they'll hold it and play in the half court. Calathes to Antetokounmpo. The oohs and the ahs go up from this sizable Shenzhen crowd. Antetokounmpo drawing the double team. Back out. Barousis, the big man for 3. Offensive rebound, tip back out. Papapetru, he gets it to go.
Not a bad defensive set. Gee, they were loaded up when Antetokounmpo down low. Clearly, they've done their homework. They know how they're going to play him in that low post.
Jaylen Brown wants to go to work, create some space in the middle, and hits the rather simple shot.
And that's the difference from the NBA game to the international game, as we see the pass.
The pass from Calathes, and they wanted some help from the official underneath. The USA just coming right down the other end of the floor.
Main difference in the defense with that zone rules, the 3 seconds, defensive 3 seconds that you can have in the NBA, that doesn't apply in FIBA, so you can really pack it in on the weak side. And when you've got this force, incredible force of Giannis Antetokounmpo, you cannot guard him in a one-on-one situation. If you don't have help coming, the offense wins every time.
And that was the second foul on Papanikolaou. Here's White. Jaylen Brown inside again, putting it in again. 2 in a row for him. The USA lead by 1 after 6 minutes. Calathes bringing the ball down the floor. Here's Giannis. Back to Calathes. Antetokounmpo spins into traffic, back out. Barousis, another 3 right at the end of the shot clock. Batted back out to Barousis, and a fresh 14. Calathes working with Barousis here. Fires it back to the perimeter. Antetokounmpo fakes the 3 and draws the foul.
Well, the offensive boards by Greece outstanding. Some of them positionally, the United States have been okay, but just going in there and slapping it out. They've already got the 4 offensive rebounds, only got 3 defensive. And Greece getting a lot of looks at it, just not being able to convert. 5 of 14, 36% from the field so far.
Papanikolaou to the bench on his 2 fouls. Sloukas and Calathes, 2 playmakers on the floor for Greece. 3-pointer won't go. And here come the USA. Lovely pass down the floor, kick to the corner, and all the way into the advertising boards went Plumlee. Here's White up against Calathes through the paint. And the handoff to Middleton. Plumlee. Tenacious defense from Greece to stick with the USA here, right down to the final seconds of the shot clock. And that's what it forces.
What an outstanding defensive possession that was for Greece. Forced White in just the prayer, just trying to hit the rim to get another crack at it. And they're doing a great job guarding the penetration. That's where they're at their best. The United States, when they get downhill, start to put some heat on the rim. But they've done an outstanding job in the on-ball situation, keeping it on the perimeter.
Sloukas working with Barousis on the perimeter. 2 won't go for him. Plumlee the rebound. In transition, all the way through goes Brown. He'll have to earn them from the line, though.
The athleticism of Brown slicing down the middle. Good find. Very tough to guard for the defensive transition. Yeah, there's the foul. Just turned his body, which didn't help. So Barousis picks up that foul, and he'll go to the... He checks out of the game. Brown goes to the line to shoot a couple.
Greece are at the foul limit for the first quarter with 2.5 minutes still to play. Jaylen Brown at the line, the 3rd overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft by the Boston Celtics, and there's a man you know well.
Certainly do. Greg Popovich, he's the coaching genius, 5 NBA titles, and I'm sure there
he didn't have a single one till he got a handsome Aussie on the team back in 1999.
Well, not sure I did all that much to contribute to it, but nevertheless, it was a privilege to be there and learn from the great man. One of his key players on that roster is his assistant coach, and Steve Kerr as well.
Sloukas. He misses the shot. Kemba Walker the rebound.
A couple of good look for Sloukas. He's had 2 wide open mid-range shots.
Middleton floating to the side, failing to finish. Big offensive rebound from Brown, who's having an impact. Middleton into Plumlee, the big man in the center, trying to get it over the top of the giant Papagiannis.
Papagiannis got away with a push.
Calathes traveling down the court. And the game is being played at a frantic, exhilarating pace.
It was. Calathes this time cuts through to the middle, goes in to the forest, and to me, that is very good defense and lucky to be going to the line to shoot two. That looked every bit of charge on that angle.
Both teams at the foul limit here in the first now. It's the first personal on Kemba Walker.
And as Giannis Antetokounmpo checks out of the game, the United States goes small with no designated five. So Harrison Barnes is probably going to be the one that, if you were trying to find a number for him with this lineup, he would be the five, but this is going to be small ball. And
Gaither's missing the first.
That'll ask some questions of this Greek team to see what they do.
It's the second though. Greece within one, final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Gaither goes to the bench, a man who in April had the third triple-double in EuroLeague history and the first in 12 years. Marcus Smart moving it to Harrison Barnes. Kemba Walker from the outside, got it.
And that's just great recognition. Giannis, there's no way he's going to be able to stay with Barnes on the perimeter, puts it to the floor, help required, and they kick it out for the shot. Pretty simple stuff, but effective. Recognizing your advantage and going to it.
Slukas to the far side to Printezis. Printezis, a very good post-up player. It's his speciality, misses the floater. Left-handed from the baseline though, and it's still going to be Greece ball.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Greece on this next possession, perhaps look at a zone. Try and protect that penetration, because Giannis, I'm not sure who he can guard out there.
Printezis. Giannis to Slukas. Slukas has been so efficient so far here in this tournament. Giannis misses right at the buzzer.
Sometimes your best defense is offense, and that time they try to take advantage of his size down low, but this is what they're just going to isolate him and go at him one-on-one and see if they can keep him in front. And so far in those two possessions, Coach Popovich and Team USA have made the decision to go at the big man and been very successful at it.
Barnes with the pirouette, the pump fake, got the shot away, got the foul. The USA up by 4 and a chance to stretch the lead from the line. Harrison Barnes, an NBA champion with Golden State in 2015 when he averaged around 10 points and 5.5 rebounds. Six points the advantage. After a fast and fiery and very promising Greek start. Slukas. Larentzakis. Printezis running interference on the perimeter, receives it back and puts it in.
Textbook 2-on-2 basketball. Simple pick and roll. They show on the screen. The roll is open.
Barnes finding Middleton, cutting into the middle. Knocked away, still US ball.
Just hearing and reading some of the comments from the United States and the commentaries, it's clearly they appreciate that the FIBA game is officiated differently to the NBA game and a lot more physical, and probably most importantly, not so respectful to the superstars. They call everything on its own merits, which is a good thing.
Kemba Walker, who is one of the superstars, one of the 2 All-Stars on the US roster, along with Chris Middleton. And Walker! Giannis got a piece of it. Larentzakis, quarterback pass. There's the touchdown in the end zone from Petru. Greece back within 2 right at the end of the first quarter.
Great outlet pass. He snuck out. He took the odds. A little bit of basket hanging perhaps, and the chance that the offensive rebound didn't come off. It might have been actually faked out by the siren, the United States team as well. All standing still. And have a look at the slow-mo replay. What a beautiful look that is. And the excitement from the Greek bench.
And
what a start we had. That man, Giannis came out on a mission, and so did the United States. Kemba Walker coming off, simple mid-range jump shots, executing really well. Miles Turner down low. Donovan Mitchell, this time provider, and just a nice body control. That is a big, big man going at the rim and showing the versatility. But a high-quality affair we've got on our hands here. Tremendous athletes playing with great athleticism. You don't always get that. Sometimes you get some great athletes, but don't necessarily play with the athleticism. But it's all on show here.
These two sets of players have got the full package here at the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup, and you can follow all of the news and all of the action on the official app. If you've not got it, do make sure you download it right now. Everything you need on there.
Available on every device. And it's a beautiful app too, I tell you. If it ain't on the app, it's not worth knowing.
These fans here in Shenzhen are loving every second. What an opportunity to see the biggest game so far at the FIBA World Cup. And it's a close one. The USA by 2 as we start the second. Brown, who was one of 3 US players on 5 points in the first, grabs his own rebound and gets fouled by Slukas.
And they stay with this bigger lineup, the Greeks, to deal with the small ball of the United States. Brown just bullying his way to the basket. Probably should have made that, but earns his way to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
He led the USA with 20 points against Japan in their previous game, Jaylen Brown.
Only a 69% shooter on the season. NBA season, that is.
Averaged 13.1 points, 4.4 rebounds through his 3rd NBA campaign with the Celtics last season. Gets just the 1. Greece down by 3. Ball in the hands of Kostas Slukas. And Zakis, who played that lovely long pass to beat the buzzer right at the end of the first. Slukas bounce pass towards Printezis. Back to Slukas, wide open for 3, and he makes it count. Kostas Slukas from the outside ties the game.
Great pass, inside, outside. Slukas off to a slow start. Missed a couple of mid-ranges, but didn't lose his confidence. Knocks down the 3 ball.
Jumper will pop out for the US. Slukas was only 1 of 8 from downtown in the first round, but shot 45% from 3 in the EuroLeague last season. It's Printezis for 3 this time. Batted back into the hands of Walker. Here goes Jaylen Brown, switching on to the left and scoring.
And that's just awesome offensive transition, and the Greek defensive transition found wanting on that occasion. Looked almost half pace. You're going to need a higher level of urgency to get back if you're going to cause an upset.
Ball out of bounds right in front of the American bench. 23 years as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich. And on the other side, Thanasis Skortopoulos, his first major tournament as a head coach for Greece, having taken over the qualification campaign in 2017. And of course, for Popovich, it's the first time in charge of the national team. Giannis looking to back in and kick out away from the double team. Slukas for 3 again, not this time.
He's going to have to make that. That's what Giannis needs. Giannis needs the perimeter shots to fall to give him some space. They almost be able to double team now without any fear of punishment.
Mitchell to the far side to Smart, back to Donovan Mitchell. No look pass out to this near side to Barnes. And a foul on the floor, the basket won't count.
And this is going to be a battle of wills from the coaches to see which formula is going to prevail. You've got, now we see a substitution with Giannis going out of the game, but you had your two bigs in there and saying, well, are our bigs going to be able to score more than your littles?
Kemba Walker directing traffic as the shot clock winds down to 5 now. Donovan Mitchell shoots the deep three. It's too long. Antetokounmpo the rebound. Here's Larentzakis for 3 over the top of Mitchell. Wouldn't go. After the 2 Antetokounmpos had combined. Jaylen Brown back out. 3-point shot for Smart. He's fouled on it. He'll go to the line for 3.
It is. He didn't land. He's going to go to the line for 3. But this is just native, instinctive ball. Just 5-out passing game. May lead to some random on-balls and middle on-balls. But this is just 5 guys playing basketball. And it was on the shot. It looked like there might have been a foul on that rebound as well. Barnes tried to make that cut to the basket. Walker goes out of the game. And Derek White coming back in. But for all the coaching, beautiful strategies you have, all these sophisticated plays, right now, throw that out the door for the United States. 5 out, transition offense, get to the rim. If there's help, kick it out, get to the rim again, and next time if it's not there, shoot a 3. Simple stuff. And when you've got this level of talent, a lot easier to get some value out of it.
Smart 2 of 2. 1 more to come. Man who's been with the Celtics ever since the 2014 draft. Improved year on year, replacing the NBA all-defensive first team last season. He puts the USA up by 5. Slukas guarded by White. Larentzakis across to Printezis. Giannis wants it, instead it goes to Thanasis, across to the far side. Printezis, he's going to shoot the 3 towards the end of the shot clock. They're not getting the shots they want, Greece.
No, they're not, and it's hard for Giannis Antetokounmpo out there, unlike the NBA where the floor can be so spread. You see whenever he goes to the box, there is a wall on him, and if he catches it, it's automatically double teamed.
And we're 3 minutes into the second quarter, and a timeout called here with the USA leading Greece by 5.
Ωραία, στην άμυνα τώρα μένουμε πάλι ζώνη. Ο Θανάσης θα πιέσει την μπάλα εδώ. Γιάννης, Πρίτεσης, Γιάννης, Νίκ και Σλούκας εδώ. Με το που θα μπει και κάνουν τα ζώνη είναι, νέο ζώνη. Don't go deep and down, no deep shot. Εντάξει, στην επίθεση, πέτε κάτω. Νίκ, με την μπάλα, Γιάννης, Μιάρ, οκ, Σλούκας, Πρί και Θανάσης. Οκ, Πικ, second pick, down screen, versus out. Now high low, they swing, don't look for Giannis. Here, Ακαλατή, δεν το πήγε ρόλο εκείνο το Γιάννη πάλι. Αλλά πάμε πρώτα το action, να δούμε αν έχουμε την μπάλα μέσα. Αλλάζουμε και μένουμε το spot.
I like what he's doing. Simple down screen. So Antetokounmpo will go down, set the down screen, and then just open up to the ball, and he's going to be that deep. Throw it direct, high-low pass in there. Similar to that. That's what they're going to look for. That's what the coach is drawing up. And I like it. Way to get his superstar something cheap and throw the question back on the United States about what they're going to do.
7 points for Giannis so far, but all of them coming early.
Little zone coming out of the timeout for Greece as well.
Barnes. Donovan Mitchell across to this near side to Middleton. They move it around the perimeter to Mitchell, who fakes and then passes beautifully into White to get some height.
Beautiful pass and great relocating by White. He didn't stay still, he kept cutting and got it presented to him on a platter.
Slukas. Giannis comes out, then goes back in, across on this near side. Thanasis all the way through, misses the layup, and Greece are going to need those kind of conversions, and now a wrestling match down on the floor in the paint.
And I reckon Greg Popovich and his staff has saw the way Brazil played Giannis and are trying to do the same thing. If we have a look at the beautiful pass by Donovan Mitchell, because Alexander Petrovic, he went out there and put Alex Garcia on Antetokounmpo and giving away, what would that be, 15 centimetres, a nuggety little point guard on him, and held him to 13 points and he fouled out in that very important game against Brazil. So it's very hard when you see another team have a winning formula to not at least have a look at it. And with this small ball, it's similar principles.
Not just a smaller player, but a 39-year-old as well in
Correct.
Alex Garcia. Calathes the deep inbound, and it slipped through his hands as he got it back from Slukas. Just a few signs that it's starting to come off the rails for Greece. They've got to dig their heels in on defense here.
Ooh. Middleton on the post up, and have the smaller Slukas on him. He got away with a little push off. Let's have a look. There's a bit of contact there. Well, from what you saw there, I really don't know how they could possibly call the foul on Slukas, but maybe there was a little holding before that vision.
It's his second. We had the missed layup from Thanasis, then the turnover, and now the fifth foul in the space of 4 minutes of the second quarter.
And Slukas there doing fundamentally what you should do. When you've got a mismatch, you've got a bigger guy on that box, half front it, try to deny him the ball, push him out to the perimeter, and rely on help on the weak side. So his intent was absolutely appropriate.
And it is a 10-3 second quarter as the USA stretch their lead to 9. Big moments for Greece coming up. Calathes.
It's hard to see. You can't beat the United States shooting 30%. They're only 8 of 27.
Another turnover unless Thanasis can save it, but he only can back into the hands of Middleton, who's on the move, going coast to coast, popped away by Slukas. Complaints from the Greek bench on the far side.
They believe that just player losing control of the ball. Have a look on the replay. Sleep. Or did it come off? I think it came off Slukas' head. So I think that actually was the right call.
We're going to have a timeout here. The USA leading Greece by 9 as they look for a win that would secure their place in the quarterfinals of the FIBA World Cup. Greece really up against it here. Coach Skortopoulos and his team trailing by 9 and trying to hang in this fiery and passionate atmosphere.
It is, and it's been a great end of the first and start of the second for the United States. They've found a formula playing small ball, and they will milk it until Greece counters. And just a couple of sloppy turnovers by the Greek team. And as we mentioned, only shooting at 8 of 27, 30% from the field. That's not going to get it done.
Derek White. Guarded by Calathes. Far side is Jaylen Brown. Chris Middleton shoots the three. It's too long. Greece need to secure the rebound. Three of them getting in each other's way. Wide open three. Won't go down. Balancing the baseline so well was Antetokounmpo, but Greece are really up against it at the moment. Printezis going to work. Near side of the paint, draws the double team, steps through, misses the floater, big offensive rebound, and Greece ball.
Giannis just not involved enough at the offensive end. Everyone's standing around, just need to get a little bit more ball movement before they get to their destination to loosen up the defense.
Calathes and Sloukas, two all EuroLeague first team playmakers on the floor at the same time. Sloukas moves it on to Antetokounmpo, far side against Brown. He fizzes across, Thanasis. Does he get it away in time? It doesn't go anywhere. Joe Harris, who had his 28th birthday yesterday. White across to the far side, the ball movement to Smart on the perimeter. Middleton, right down the middle. And he ran into traffic and turned it over.
Unfortunate end, but Greece need to take a leaf out of what the United States are doing. Just playing on the perimeter, moving it from side to side, get a little bit of ball and man movement. Although it's not highly structured, it's still effective. And now Miles Turner comes back into the game. So it's a different look again that Greece have to deal with. And earlier on, they were much more comfortable with this USA lineup.
Calathes still just 3 points in the quarter for Greece in 5.5 minutes. Sloukas around the body of Barousis. Calathes and Sloukas again.
And everyone's
back off.
standing. If you just look, everyone's standing around except for the guy with the ball, a little on-ball screen. They get away with it that time.
Badly they needed that one. The three from Sloukas off the static offense. 6 points the gap, the first points in a while for either team. Jaylen Brown up against Sloukas. He's got the height advantage. Barousis is there to help out. Back out it goes to Harris. He runs past Barousis, and Turner volleying his way to the basket to force it up and in. 4 points for Miles Turner. Calathes to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Creates a bit of space, steps back, drains the shot. His first point since the opening few minutes.
Really nice. You can see 4 USA jerseys inside the paint when he put the ball to the floor. And that time settles for the mid-range step back.
Middleton bounced down the baseline. Brown rose. Did he come down with it? They wanted a double dribble on the far side. 3-point shot. Doesn't go for a man who led the NBA in three-point accuracy last season, Joe Harris. But an offensive rebound. Walker. Shot clock down to 5 after the reset to 14. Walker moves it across. Wide open look far side for Middleton. And Greece get away with it. Calathes. And a foul inside as Giannis gets hit by Middleton.
2 teammates, Milwaukee Bucks. Teammates getting tangled up. And the speed at which Giannis can fly down the floor really does test the D-Trans of the United States. And that time, a good job by Middleton.
Calathes to inbound. Giannis. Faced by Turner. He's just going to take the shot right over the top of the big man.
It's clear. You can easily identify the strategy they're implying with Giannis. Just happy to settle for the contested mid-range shot.
Here he goes again for 3. Wasn't going to miss 2 in a row. Joe Harris, who shot 47.4% in the NBA last season.
And won the 3-point shootout competition at the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Sloukas back to Barousis. The USA up by 9. Sloukas turns it over, looking for Calathes far side, picked off by Mitchell. Walker to Mitchell for 3, into the hands of Papapetru. Final 2 minutes of the first half. A low-scoring first half for Greece. Barousis wanting to back in and go to work on Barnes. Barousis puts him down to the deck, but it's a wild shot. And Tatakumpo, defense got a piece of it. Miles Turner getting up.
Barousis lucky not to get called for the offensive foul. Little hook. They're the shots again that when you've got this size advantage down low over Barnes, there's the hook. You saw it with the left elbow. Gets away with it. The ones, if Greece are going to win that, they've got to, they're the ones who've got to make that close to the basket, although it was contested.
Papanikolaou comes in. Calathes goes to the bench. Giannis Papapetrou will inbound the ball.
Sorry, but neither team really lighting it up. 39% for the United States. 29, they're all the way down to 10 of 34. 29% from the field for Greece.
Slukas to Giannis to Papapetrou, wouldn't fall nor off the tip from Barousis. Walker. Three-point shot for Mitchell, short. The US getting much better looks than Greece. Here's Giannis with a buzz in the air in Shenzhen. To the far side, Slukas for three. Doesn't get it to go. And both teams struggling. Walker. Final minute of the first half here. On it goes to Miles Turner. Up against Papanikolaou. Spins towards the baseline, rolls away and puts it in.
Help came too late again. Miles Turner, he's very efficient around the basket. He's been one of the leading players for the United States.
It's an 11-point lead for the US here. Antetokounmpo to Slukas. Steps through, across to the far side. Three-point shot, wide open in the corner. Nothing going down for Greece right now. Greece not happy with the no call. Walker directing traffic right towards the end of the shot clock here. 5 seconds. And then there is a whistle for a foul.
Yes, I think it was on coming over, trying to fight over the top of the screen. A complete mismatch they had on the floor there with Papanikolaou just trying to guard, and that's his third basket. He's got no chance of guarding Walker, and just as he was fighting over that screen, committed the foul. Mason Plumlee coming in, so now for this last defensive stop, they go with their two bigs, and Turner and Plumlee.
Turner is at the line for two. The USA have their largest lead here at 12 points, heading towards the halftime interval.
Career 77% free throw shooter in the NBA.
Man who led the regular season in block shots at 2.7 a game last season. He makes both of his foul shots. And there's a foul at centre court on Derek White. 4.4 to play in the first half.
And that was, they got fouls to give, and they've still got a couple more to give. And with their depth on their roster, they can afford inbound it, try and wait 2 seconds, foul them again.
Greece in desperate need of a conversion. Slukas spinning. There is the next foul on White again.
Now they've got to play it straight up. No, they've got one more. That was only their third. So got to be careful to not foul the three-point shooter, but they've played this last 9 seconds really well.
2.1 to go in the first half. Timeout called. USA up by 13.
Yeah, so that they're going with a little elevator play. That's where usually you come from a guy coming from the baseline up the middle, and there'll be two guys at the free throw line, and they'll try to shut the doors on the defender trying to chase him, and free ball at the top of the key. Couldn't quite see the board, but just, and my Greece is non-existent, my Greek. So, little cross screen. And the objective here, with the way they're starting and looking here, from what I can tell with this setup, it'll be Kostas Sloukas with an attempt to come, he'll cross screen and then come up the middle.
Sloukas 2 of 6 from the field so far, both of them from the outside. 2.1 to shoot for Greece. They've scored just 8 points in this quarter. Papanikolaou to inbound. There is Sloukas. There you go, puts it on the floor and draws that final foul. And the foul is on the floor.
It was exactly as we thought, and just needed to let it fly a little earlier and try and... There's the elevator. See, they closed the doors? That's closing the doors on the elevator plate. Comes to the top, and then there's a foul on the drive.
So now only 0.4 seconds. And Greece are going to have to send up a prayer. Mason Plumlee coming back in to offer that protection around the rim. Out goes Barnes. Far side, just has to be thrown up. Lovely finish from Giannis Antetokounmpo, but it was after the buzzer. And that will do it for the first half. A very difficult first half for Greece. Just 25 points on the board. The USA lead by 13, 38-25.
Yeah, real tough shooting night for Greece. They've had some good looks. 10 of 39 from the 10 of 39, 26%. Wow, that is not good by any reasonable judgment. And on the flip side of that, the United States, not that great, but still 12 of 30 for 40%, and 3 of 12 from the three-point line with their 25%. But just not being able to make shots. The lineups cause problems. Antetokounmpo, he's got the 9 points. Jaylen Brown's got the 8 to lead the way for their respective teams. But Antetokounmpo looked blanketed outside that first 2 or 3 minutes. If he can't get some of his teammates to knock down a shot, they have the luxury of just being able to double team him and keep the ball away from him. They're clearly saying, well, someone else has got to beat us, and until such a time as they can make some shots, it's hard to see how Greece can win this game.
And Greece have had 9 extra field goal attempts in the game. Both teams shooting around 25% from long range, but on the interior, the USA shooting 50%, Greece just 27%. And the USA have got to the line to make 11 of 13 free throws. Greece have only been to the line once.
Well, that's right, and it's because they're just seeing a wall. That was an easy transition by Jaylen Brown that time, defensive transition. When you're not making shots and you get a long rebound, it can ignite the fast break, and they've been found wanting a few times in their defensive transition, and it's just somehow or other find a way to get some points. And it sounds simple, but I don't like their method. Standing around, going straight away to a middle on-ball screen, they're packing it in. They're getting some really good looks from the three-point line. They've had 39 shots, 17 of coming from the three-point line, but they've only been able to make 4. And that's not by accident, that is by design. The United States is saying, if you're going to beat us from the perimeter, and they haven't been able to do it.
Let's see if Greece can find a way to find the answers to the problems that are being posed by the USA in just a few minutes when we return for the second half. The USA lead Greece 38-25 at the break.
for too long, honey, on it. Everybody talking, trying to see me. Disbelief they had, breathing, he was shit. What you say? Hold up, shut your mouth. Dead leg can't handle what you talking about. Cause what you through that door, it ain't no walking now. Let me take you back in time in my coffin. I know you smell it in the air. Cause I've been in the grave for too long, I swear. Crying, I miss it. Oh, bitch, where it been raised? My face pale, they can't tell your boy back to be risen.
Yeah, let's give a big hand， 掌声来感谢深圳亚童街舞团的 Jump Kids。
希腊队球。 14号拉着犯规。Number
好，在
Beautiful connection. Wide open shot there for Garino.
Oh, taking it. Oh, get that out of here! Big block from Joji. Matthew trying to get past Coney, does get past him. Behind the back pass to Eric, who drops it in for two.
Man, that's a highlight because we were expecting him to fly.
No Gentile. Bounce pass into Brooks, pass behind the back, extra pass, Datome for three! What a team play from Italy!
That's wonderful passing behind the back, extra pass out and across, and the three is knocked down.
Brings it down now by Janovic. Well, Jovic is in all the space he wants.
Now Mike Marjanovic becomes point guard with a great no-look pass, and the alley-oop finish for Serbia.
My parents gave me away, so I had no purpose in this life. Yeah. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, by the way.
Welcome back to the Shenzhen-based Sports Center where the USA lead Greece 38-25 at the half. The lowest scoring half for Greece in a long time. They've only scored fewer points in 2 of their previous 59 games at the FIBA World Cup, one back in 1998, another in 2006. And they've lost 7 of the 8 games in this competition when they've scored 30 or fewer points in the first half. 9 of their 25 have come from that man, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 7 rebounds as well, but 7 of those 9 points came very early on.
They did, and it's going to be very difficult for him until such a time as the Greece can figure out a way in which they can either get a little bit more movement to shift the defense around, or in a very simplistic way, like we spoke about a little earlier, find a way to knock down a shot. They're getting wide open looks. Giannis is doing his thing as being the greatest decoy in the game right now because they're packing it in, taking away the driving lanes, and Jaylen Brown, he's been solid not only on the points but the rebounds, playing that floor ball. They got to get their littles in there. Now he's a mid rather than a little, but nevertheless really going to the glass and doing a good job.
Almost matching those numbers from Giannis. Jaylen Brown with the 8 points and 7 rebounds, one of 2 Americans on 8 points, along with Miles Turner. So the 2 bigs scoring big for the US, who haven't lost a game in the FIBA World Cup, leading at half-time since 2002 against Spain, and they have a 13-point lead here at the Shenzhen Bay Arena in this one. It is a long way back from here for Greece, but there's plenty of time to do it, and plenty of things that they can put right.
Oh my word, they've got the talent. It's just about trying to find a way to get it all together. And things can turn very quickly. A couple of made baskets, a couple of 3 balls go in, and that confidence permeates throughout the game. Greece, as you've seen for many years, and you've seen particularly when you've watched the Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, they roar on that emotion of when things are going well. And their whole mindset can change with a couple of nice plays, and you can have a whole different look to it, which is going to require for them to get back in this one.
We talked about it a bit already, but the defensive strategy of Coach Greg Popovich along with Steve Kerr to offer the outside shot to Greece. They've taken almost as many three-pointers as they have two-pointers, only hit 4 of 17 from the outside. You look at who's taking the shots. Printezis doesn't take many usually. He's 0 of 2. Barousis, the big man, is 0 of 2 as well. And Papapetru, only a 33% shooter from the outside in the EuroLeague. He's 1 of 4.
Well, that's right. And I think they just haven't got the balance right in the way in which they're attacking on the offensive end. So much of it is predicated on an on-ball screen, that's the nature of the game, the way the game's played. I understand that, but it's when you get to that on-ball screen that you see the difference with some of the teams. Now they'll go through some motion, and it's not just dummy motion. You're offering some cuts, some cheap baskets on backdoor cuts, and if that's not on, then get to your on-ball.
What a huge challenge for Greece, and Thanasis Skotopoulos, the head coach, in this second half, down by 13 against the USA. Just 25 points scored in the first half. That man had 9 of them. They need a big performance from him and a few others to step up here in the third quarter. Greg Popovich looking calm and composed as ever as the USA look to book a place in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, he would have liked what he saw in that first half. Anytime you hold a team to 25 points and a half, you've got to be happy with the way your defense is functioning.
Here we go, start of the third quarter, USA 38, Greece 25. The US start with the ball, looking to stretch what is already their largest lead. Harris across to Kemba Walker. Walker against Slukas. Through the legs, onto the left hand, looking around, no options. Slukas smothering defense. Turner, shot clock down to the final 2 seconds. Turner has to put up the long ranger. It's a good defensive start for Greece. Here's Giannis. Slukas. Giannis creating some room for Slukas, who shoots the long 2 and hits it.
It did, and he almost had to give him an invitation. You saw Barnes close him out late, but as we saw in that first half, prepared to live with mid-range jump shots that are contested. A little zone defense now by Greece. I like the change-up.
Mitchell across to Harris, far side. Harris looking to attack right under the rim to Walker, who had a foot on the sideline.
Encouraging start. Made basket. Turnover now for Walker. And my goodness, it didn't take long for Coach Popovich to say, well, let's just go back to the formula that's worked. Miles Turner checks out of the game, and we've only played 58 seconds of this second half.
Both teams only had 4 turnovers each in the first half. And the USA turning the ball back over to Greece here. Their first points for quite some time, as you can see. They're looking for some more here with Printezis, far side, up against Brown, backing him down. He loves that shot, Printezis, and he gets fouled this time and will go to the line for 2.
And when you consider the problems that Greece are having, they've actually done a pretty good job on the defensive end. They've held the United States to only 39% from the field. And it's just only because of just being so inefficient on the offensive end. And even that time, it was a nice play, good post up. Just got to finish it. Should be going to the line for the N1, not for the 2.
Printezis had a team-high 16.3 points per game in round 1. He was 9 of 17 inside and 7 of 10 from downtown. Only 1 of 5 from the field here. And he misses the second foul shot as well.
Their leading scorer at almost 16.5 points a game.
Walker floats it off the mark. Rebound Giannis. Greece looking to make it single digits. Giannis threatening to go through the gears. Puts the brakes on. Here's Slukas. Looking to work with Giannis up high. Switches onto the left hand. Just about got it.
That's right. And with the little lineup, Maybe that's the answer. Just try and go over the top. Don't try and go through them. Go over the top. Good pass by Slukas that time.
Walker. Across to Mitchell, slicing through the lane, wanting to attack, and he forced it in on the way down. A moment of Mitchell magic against the MVP.
How's the hang time by Mitchell? Just a supreme, elite athlete.
The man who's got some scoring records over his first 2 NBA seasons that stack up with the very best in history. Giannis down on the deck, has it taken off him. Brown. Harris in the corner, closed out by Papanikolaou. Back out to Walker. He's going to shoot the 3 and gets nothing but nylon.
He's up to 8 points now, and he's been really patient as well. Hasn't pushed things, hasn't had a lot of opportunity. That was only his 6th field goal attempt. 3 of 6 from the field.
As soon as Greece start to build up a bit of a head of steam, the USA shut them down. Papanikolaou to Slukas, fired across to Printezis. Right at the end of the shot clock here as he balances the baseline, wasn't aware, and it's a violation.
It's happened too much. This one, that time it was, as you see the pass, Slukas to Antetokounmpo, wide open, the help coming just a little late. Joe Harris was the one, should have been a little earlier, and down the other end, just Walker, he had to do it with a party trick to put that one in.
Walker, the USA back up by 13, looking to stretch it here. Rebound Giannis. Differential as it was at half-time. Slukas far side, looking to work with Giannis here. Goes around the number 34, shoots the jumper. And really struggling to build momentum, Greece, on the offensive end. All the way through, dancing through the defense. A box office blow from Barnes.
It is the good change of direction, trying to keep him on the sideline, cuts back to the middle. No help, dunk.
USA by 15, 4 minutes into the second half. Giannis looking to do something about it, got it to go.
Nice little Euro step, long, loping steps.
Walker to Harris.
He's got to do so much work just to get a shot off.
Harris for 3, falls short. Ball into the hands of Giannis. Slukas. Those two seeing all of the ball for Greece in the second half. Now Papapetrou, he's going to shoot a 3. It's just not happening from the outside for Greece. They're only 4 of 18.
Now this is going to be interesting. Giannis Antetokounmpo. There you see the dunk by Barnes. No help. No one even in the paint. Papanikolaou comes late, but just wide open. Giannis Antetokounmpo with a foul in transition to stop that break. And they're going to have a look at it because I think you're going to find that the United States are going to be heading to the line to shoot too.
Watching.
Got to
Full
be
speed camera. Okay.
Went back a long way. They didn't need to go back that far. Let's have a look at here. Just to that's unsportsmanlike.
Again, go back. Okay. Go back. Point of contact. Go, 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 go.
Of course it is.
The contact is on the hip while the ball is in the right, on the
Under this angle. Give me this angle, yeah. Correct. Go, go, go. Normal speed, normal speed, normal speed.
It's not even close.
Go back.
I don't know what they're...
So no legitimate.
No legitimate. This is unsportsmanlike.
Yes, but we need to see if it's active shooting or not.
Let's go. Let's go.
Gather.
No. Ball in the hand, still no. Go back. So, unsportsmanlike foul, number 34. 2 free throws for number...
Go back. Go back 15. And play normal.
Now, play normal speed.
Play normal speed. Yeah, now.
That's an argument.
2 shots.
2 shots. Let's go.
Lucky.
Okay.
Could have been 3.
Part of the great access we have here, the officials mic'd up for the video review. The unsportsmanlike foul called on Giannis Antetokounmpo, who didn't make a legitimate attempt to play the ball, not in a good position to try and do so.
In the NBA, that's legal. And I think that's one of the great things about what FIBA have done, to take away that rubbish. And one of the beauties of our game is you're getting up and down the floor, the offensive transitions, the dunk, the free-flowing.
Let it happen.
And it's only because he wasn't perhaps aware of the rules that he would have an act like that, because I have no idea why that took so long. It was as black and white as you could ever want to read the rules, that was absolutely an unsportsmanlike foul. Now, maybe they might have put a bit of time on, because it possibly could have been in the act of shooting, because he knew he was going to get fouled, and maybe that's what they were looking at. But I love the system. It makes you get it right. But, gee, we got to find a way of speeding it up.
It would have been 3 foul shots had it been in the act. It wasn't, so just the 2, and Kemba Walker knocks them both down. But off the back of the unsportsmanlike foul from Giannis, the USA will have the ball as well, up by 15. Chris Middleton to inbound. Walker. Turner setting the screen. Here's Middleton slicing into the paint. Lovely pass there. Turner rejected. Some Antetokounmpo above the ring. Barusis locked and loaded for 3. Bang! He fires for the first time from downtown. $12 points the differential. When Greece needed a swing, they got one, but there's still a lot of ground to make up. Walker to Middleton. On swiftly by Harris. Back out Turner. High catch. Shot clock winding down. Middleton with the floater. Couldn't get it to fall, nor Turner on the tip.
2-3 zone that time by Greece.
Giannis going through the gears.
Foul on Miles Turner. Joe Harris did a good job of trying to get some help, but was pushed. The foul happens here first, and then, if it wasn't for the foul, probably going to be a charge. Barusis, as you mentioned, he is capable from that range and he's wide open, but we've seen a number of those from a lot of Greek players being that open and not being able to knock it down.
They're 5 of 19 from the three-point line now. 12 points the difference. Barusis in that position again. Calathes. Calathes to Barusis, moves it on swiftly. Papanikolaou, Barusis again. Up against Jaylen Brown, backing him down. Back out, Papanikolaou. It's his three-point shot this time. They are living or dying by the 3, and at the moment they're dying by it.
Well, they have to.
Ball movement around the perimeter. The US miss one as well. And here comes Giannis Antetokounmpo. The floor opens up for him, and the swell of excitement in the Shenzhen Bay Sports Arena. He draws the foul.
They have to operate from the perimeter because the United States are doing a great job of just protecting the paint. A lot of chronic help coming from the weak side, and it is so crowded in there. Those opportunities to get to the basket are few and far between. And it's a simple game until such a time as your opponent can show that you can make that on a regular basis. They're going to sit in that and stay with that strategy as long as they, until such a time as Greece makes a few shots. You think back to 2006 when they did cause that upset. It was just phenomenal shooting. 62% they shot on that occasion from the field, and a healthy 44% from the three-point line, and then they're able to get an upset win. Now they can't even make free throws.
Greece only shooting 35% on the inside, only 25% from downtown, and now only 2 of 5 from the foul line. He misses both of them. The MVP of the NBA.
Well short too.
Mitchell. Tipped out of bounds by Giannis, trying to make amends.
Well short and a little flat. Not quite as much arc on that shot as he needs. Got to get the hands a little bit higher on the release. It's a mark on it.
Smart to inbound the ball. Turner back to Mitchell, who gets it back here. Looking to go to work. Donovan Mitchell towards the foul line. Couple of up fakes, back out to the perimeter. Brown, shot clock to the final few seconds. Wonderful ball movement again, and White knocks it down.
That's a thing of beauty when you see the ball moving around like that. Giving up good shots for even better ones. And most importantly, finishing, putting the ball in the hole.
Calathes taking the ring road around the defense. Greece down by 15. Giannis one-on-one, near side, spins to the baseline, back into traffic. Can he find a way out? Kicks it to Calathes. Ball movement from Greece as well, but they weren't aware of the shot clock, despite the pretty passing.
Giannis causing not just a double team, a triple team. There we see the play before, the very nice ball movement, swing the ball around, and nothing but cotton. Beautiful hit by White, and you can see how much it means to the bench. They do not underestimate Greece, and in a low-scoring affair, they've got a comfortable 15-point lead, but that's not beyond reach.
Mitchell across to Brown. Three-point shot again for the US, not this time. Giannis another rebound. It's a double-double for him. Calathes just not quite on his game so far tonight. Calathes will go off the window, and a rebound Turner. Here's Smart in transition. Wild, and a chance to run here for Papanikolaou. And Calathes, far side, open look for three. They pass it up, and the US get back in transition. He'll still get an open shot from the corner this time, off the side of the backboard.
Wow.
And then the rejection after it came back, but Greece just cannot buy a basket.
No, they can't, and because what's happened, they are devoid of any level of confidence. Wide open shots, you can see the wheels ticking in their heads, and when you're a shooter and you've got the ball, whenever those thoughts are in your head and you're thinking, should I or shouldn't I shoot, you shouldn't. And that's what happened then. Papanikolaou the first time, should I, shouldn't I, no pass, and then he thought, well, I've got to, but he's still thinking about it, and clanged it off the side of the backboard.
The thoughts of the third top scorer in the history of this competition, Andrew Gaze, alongside me, Tim Long, here in Shenzhen. The USA up by 15, looking to stretch the lead. On it goes here to Brown. Back out, pass was a little off the mark, and then turned over by Mitchell, and here comes Giannis, Antetokounmpo. Oh, there you go. The Greek god goes to the heavens.
White had no chance. In fact, I don't know a human being in the world that could have done any better when you've got Giannis Antetokounmpo in full flight in a one-on-one situation.
13 the differential. A minute and a half to go in the third. Lovely move through the paint from Derek White, who just cools the crowd after that high-flying moment from Giannis.
Giannis just sucking in the big breaths too. He might need a little spell.
Slukas to Barousis onto Calathes. Barousis one-on-one with Mitchell, far side, backing him down to the edge of the paint, spins into the double team, looking back out to the perimeter. Three-point shot, still nothing from the outside going for Greece. They have much better shooters than they're showing.
Not they ever. 5 of 22 from the three-point line, 23%.
Wide open for the US. They're off the mark as well. They're only shooting 28% from three. Prentices.
Spot on, Tim, and they're only shooting 38% from the field, so they haven't actually lit it up either.
Calathes trying one. Now that's his Achilles heel, the three-point shot. White. Mitchell across to White again. Final seconds of the third here. 9 seconds the differential. Here goes Derek White into the lane once more over the top of Prentices. And how cool has Derek White been? Up to 9 points now, 4 of 5 from the field.
They got a foul to give here as well, so they'll wait till about 4 seconds and then... Oh no, they don't need it.
Oh, it wasn't far off from Jaylen Brown at the buzzer, the full length of the floor. But Greece are some way off the USA. They're trailing by 17 heading into the fourth, 55-37.
BC, the field goal percentages shooting just abysmal for Greece. The United States not lighting it up either. So defense has been the order of the day, and really strategic defense too. Greg Popovich came in with a very noticeable game plan. It was patently obvious to anyone in the gym what they were going to do, and just trying to take away anything around the basket and live with mid-range and long-range contested shots, and Greece haven't been good enough to knock them down. It's as simple as that.
Giannis Antetokounmpo certainly done his part, a double-double for the second game running here at the FIBA World Cup. 15 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field, but USA spreading their points around, everybody getting involved. 10 for Kemba Walker, 9 for Derek White, 8 for Jason Brown, and 7 for Donovan Mitchell.
Kemba Walker's the only player in double figures. And that's a great sign for the United States as well, to say how many different weapons they got. But look at this, in full flight. It's a thing of beauty. How high? Look at his head up around near the rim.
The emotions of the two head coaches. Thanasis Kortopoulos knows it would take a World Cup miracle from here. Here we go, start of the final quarter. Greece down by 17 against the US, who are on the brink of a place in the quarterfinals of the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Slukas onto Printezis, the floater pops out. Barnes hands it off far side. White. And now Donovan Mitchell. Middleton looking to attack here against his club teammate. Across to this near side, Smart inside. Will it fall? Smart on the tip. Second time it was good for Barnes.
Wow. Even with their small lineup, they're playing volleyball across the rim with it. 3 goes at it and still able to put it in.
Calathes getting it back. Using the big frame of Papagiannis as it goes around to the far side to Thanasis, and the foul.
See what we saw in the game before this with the Czech Republic, with the ball movement, man movement. It was pure art watching the Czech Republic. And in contrast, you've got this Greek team just 4 out, 1 in, on-ball screen, hardly any motion, any threat on the basket with any cutting action. And as such, paying a huge price, not being able to score.
4 fouls on Chris Middleton as the US pick up their first of the quarter. Here's Slukas looking to work with Papagiannis again. Fires it in towards Printezis, who is stuck to like glue. 6 left on the shot clock. Greece are shooting 28% from the field.
Incredible.
And Slukas will be happy with that one to get inside.
Nice little cheek play, but
Barnes across to the far side. Here goes Smart. No look. Mitchell, the touch pass on to White. 3-point shot for Marcus Smart. Rebound grab by Papagiannis, and he dropped it. And now they have to dig deep again. Middleton misses the jumper. And Slukas looking to get Greece moving. 17 the differential. Slukas to Calathes far side. Papagiannis coming out to the perimeter, moves inside. Calathes hanging one high, and Papagiannis, all 7 feet 1 of him, couldn't rise enough.
You need to, just catch it. He's got a size advantage. Catch it, come down and stick it in.
Slukas, stop and pop three will go. They are not done and dusted just yet, Greece.
Greg Popovich having a conniption on the sideline, just irate at that defensive transition. There you see it. Lucas coming down and knocking it in. That's as animated as I've seen Greg Popovich in a long time.
There's a look at the quarter breakdown. Greece have scored 5 of the first 7 points here in the fourth to close the gap to 14. Still almost 8 minutes to play. Beg your pardon.
And these things can happen. You see again, Giannis, Antetokounmpo, where you have an off night. Very rarely do you see a quality team like Greece shoot it so poorly.
The last time Greece have made less than 30% from the field at the Basketball World Cup was back in 1998 against Russia when they shot 29.6%. They're right at 30% at the moment.
And they had no excuse there back in 1998. That was in their homeland of Greece as well.
Here's Brown. Swung across to the far side. Walker to Middleton. Middleton turnaround over the top of Giannis. And the USA automatic.
This is great ball movement, and that's the beauty of a coach like Greg Popovich. He's not going to tolerate any selfishness amongst his star-studded lineup. And the way in which they've bought into passing the ball, making the extra pass, turning good shots into great ones, is trademark Greg Popovich.
Well, Printezis, just 1 of 7 from the field. In the first round, he had a tournament 5th best, 59.3% shooting percentage. Harris threatens onto the corner, goes to Kemba Walker. Corner 3, nailed it. And the USA are making this look ugly for Greece.
It is. Well, Greece are trying a 2-3 zone, and you're always going to be a little exposed on the perimeter against a zone.
13 points, 5 assists for Kemba. Calathes, 19 the difference now. Giannis up against Jaylen Brown on the inside, shoots over the top of him. And the poor shooting continues for Greece. And here they go in full transition, but he lost it on the way up, Jaylen Brown. Slukas, high entry to Printezis, who's fouled by Walker.
He was. Jaylen Brown just losing the grip of the ball as he went up to stuff it in the hoop. Led to the transition down the other end.
The change for Greece is Evangelos Mantzaris come in here. Giannis to the bench. And Slukas across to the bench as well.
Vasilopoulos comes on as well. So when your team is shooting so poorly, no harm in trying different things.
Printezis, one of a few veterans on the floor for Greece now. He stepped through move and he puts it in off the window. His second field goal on his 8th attempt. Harris lost it, recovered. Middleton on the move to Walker. Harris will pass it off in the corner. Rebound Thanasis. Still plenty of time to go in this one if Greece can start to light it up. Thanasis, he'll kick back out of the double team. 3-point shot, will it go? Yes, it will for Evangelos Mantzaris, in off the bench and in with a bang. 14 points the difference, 5.5 to play.
No, you're right, Tim, there still is time, and this zone defense is just packing it in, taking a leaf out of the United States book and trying to just take away any sort of penetration and plays around the rim. And they get it again. So 3 consecutive stops. That's a good sign for Greece. Time is against them, though. They don't have a lot of time for long offensive plays. They've just got to get to the point pretty quickly.
Galathes hangs it high. Thanasis off a trampoline, and he's fouled midair.
That was. Have a look. Just throw it up. Had the size advantage, and wow, how fun would it be just to be given that gift to bounce around and get your head around the rim like that, just for a day. Just for a day to see what it feels like, because my goodness.
He's 10 centimeters shorter than his younger brother Giannis. Thanasis 27 years of age, Giannis 24. And Thanasis moving to the Bucks in the summer to join his brother. In most games, you'd say this is a lot of time to try and overhaul this margin, but against this US team, the way Greece have been struggling, it's a real mountain to climb.
That is true. It's got to be a complete reversal of their shooting form that we've seen throughout the game so far. But he's thrown his lineup around, got some different personnel in there, and the last 2 minutes, some really good signs. The lead has been cut to 13.
Walker for 3. He pops away. Grabbed in the end by Harris. Greece have to dig in for another 14 seconds or so. Walker popped out, had his pocket picked. Here they come in transition. Now Antetokounmpo. Galathes pops it in, and the lead is down to 11 with 4.5 to play. Greece on the comeback trail with Giannis on the bench. Harris across to Mitchell. Barnes. Shot clock down to the final 3 seconds. Barnes with the bounce. Kemba Walker off balance. Grabs his own rebound and puts it in. Kemba Walker, the shortest player on the court.
And great urgency. He knew that one was going to come up short, but he stayed with the play. Got his own rebound. And he's good enough to, in the crowd there, knock it down the second time.
Printers this into Thanasis. Kicks it out of the double team again. Pass was off the mark again, though. The 35-year-old veteran misses the shot. Panayotis Vasilopoulos. Mitchell going through a gap, throwing it away.
It is, and clock's their friend. That time Mitchell just trying to make something happen very early on in the offense. The ball actually advanced, so this will only be a 14-second shot clock because of where it went out.
Galathes looking to go all the way himself, and he does. Nick Galathes has picked it up in the second half. A couple of field goals, 11 points the difference.
And all of a sudden, the USA defense, the starch has gone out of it completely, and they might need to stiffen things up a little bit. This game is still within reach. Who would have thought?
Walker. Brown across to the far side. Donovan Mitchell. Kemba Walker again. This time they will take their time in the shot clock. Onto the corner. Mitchell for 3. Got it. Just to alleviate the tension.
That's exactly what it does do. And Donovan Mitchell, future megastar. You look at his trajectory and what he's done in the first couple of seasons at Utah.
Printers thought about the 3, wants to charge right down the lane, had it knocked away in a whistle. Mitchell's 3 taking him to 10 points, the second American into double figures.
And as we see in a lot of basketball these days, again, 25 of the 60 shots of the United States coming from the three-point line. It only hit 7 of 25 at 28%, so that's not really lighting it up. It's only because of the horrific numbers of Greece.
It's almost identical from the three-point line now.
Yeah, it's the total number. 21 is 64, 33% for Greece, and for most of the game was hovering around the 25% mark. It's only the form of the last 4 or 5 minutes that's started to make the numbers look moderately respectable.
Worth repeating, that 33% is from the field, not from the three-point line. Another offensive rebound for the US. Approaching the final 2 minutes, a 13-point bit of breathing room. Three-point shot, Kemba Walker. Both teams having their problems from long range. Greece not waiting around here. The pass was off the mark across to the far side. Kept in play. Calathes to heave one. Banked it in. Does it count?
Nope. No, I don't think it will. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, I think they'll call the foul on underneath the basket. Have a look. Maybe they will go to the replay because there's the foul and there's the shot. So, line ball, but it looked like the foul came while the ball's still in the hands. So, I can't see how they would rule that. The foul came after the shot.
Greece are desperate for it. 2 minutes, 4 seconds to play.
The Greek bench pleading to go to the video. There's no need to go to the video if the officials are absolutely convinced it's just a normal foul, so I'm not sure whether it actually allows on that particular play to go to the video.
So US ball and a 13-point lead. The basket, the three-pointer from Nick Calathes does not count. Tough to take for him and for Greece. Walker. The crossover. The kick to the far side. The three-point shot. Another miss from long range for the US.
Oh.
And then picked off, and here goes Harrison Barnes, the land of the free flying and the home of the amazing.
And he's going to go to the line for the N1 too. It's Antetokounmpo come flying in. Have a look at him. Didn't want to give up on the play and just called for the push. Terrible cross-court pass. Oh, we got
back of the head.
One to the back of the head. So they're going to take a look at it, and any action around the head, although it was unintentional, clearly he was going for the ball, but it'll be interesting to see how they adjudicate. Let's listen in.
Again. So let's go. Okay.
Please go normal speed.
No.
Normal speed.
Normal speed. What we have? Points of contact on the body behind.
Yeah, on the body. So I see a normal attempt.
Was this normal?
Act of
yes.
shooting. This is normal.
Normal foul.
Play. So
we
again, play again, play again.
Okay.
The basket is good, and it's one shot.
One shot.
Yes.
We stay with decision. Stay.
Surprised they didn't go to the other angle though. They might have had a different view. But pretty academic anyway, with a 15-point lead and 1 minute and 43 seconds to go.
How about the way to control the dunk and to finish despite the contact as well?
Just elite athleticism. The dismount wasn't so good, but when you get a push in the back.
Barnes at the line to try and complete the three-point play. That was the third foul on Thanasis. No problem from the stripe. No problem for Greg Popovich and his team.
Barnes goes out. Very serviceable night.
A 16-point advantage over the two-time European champions Greece. The USA will be through to the quarterfinals. And Greece will need to beat the Czech Republic by 13 points or more. And they'll also need the USA to beat Brazil.
Correct. Which on the form of the two games tonight, you say that is probably the easier part of the Greeks' equation.
Greece just haven't performed here, obviously against a very talented opponent, but they will feel disappointed, I'm sure, about the effort that they've put in on their side. Maybe not the effort, but the execution. Printezis, he misses. And this one is almost in the box. This Chinese crowd showing its appreciation. A comprehensive performance from the reigning world champions. Looking to put the exclamation mark on it, but not away in time, or was it? Either way, it doesn't matter, they've got the ball back.
And that'll be all. They'll just hold it and play it out from here.
In pursuit of the three-peat, the USA are into the quarterfinals of the FIBA World Cup. Greg Popovich's team get the better of Thanasis Kortopoulos' Greece, and they do it very impressively indeed by 16 points, 69 to 53.
The game never reached the heights which we thought, and particularly with the way it started in electric fashion, some really good shooting. And Chris Middleton coming in, looks like they've a little bit of argy-bargy going on as well. And not sure what that's all about. Seemed like the game was played in pretty good spirits. Perhaps not happy with that last play on Harrison Barnes. Might have been the trigger for that, but you look at the numbers and heavily weighted in favour of the USA team. And they get together, shake hands, the officials come in. Still a little bit of chatting going on. Wiser heads prevailing. Still a lot of emotion. It just goes to show what it means to both these teams, that what's at stake. Greece not completely out of it, behind the 8 ball now, but they've got some significant work they need to do.
And how about the spread of points from the USA again? Kemba Walker leading the way with 15, 10 for Donovan Mitchell, 9 each for White and for Barnes, and 8 apiece for Brown and Turner. Steve Kerr there, the assistant to Coach Popovich. Both of them will be very happy with the performance. Nothing wrong with the individual performance from Giannis Antetokounmpo, a double-double, 15 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field, but just other players who didn't step up on the Greek team when we know that they can. They had 13 points from Kostas Sloukas, but they struggled particularly on the inside, where they shot just 36%.
Yeah, it was horrific all around for the Greek team. 32% from the field is not going to get it done against virtually 90% of the teams in this competition. It's got to be able to put the ball in the hole, and outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo, it's hard to find another significant contributor. Kostas Sloukas played hard, and he was 5 of 12, 42%, 50% from the three-point line, but I don't think that was one of his better games. He had 3 rebounds, only had the 1 assist, and despite battling hard, there was times where he had to run the team and do a better job. So not a lot to like about the Greek team tonight, and give a lot of credit. Strategically, Greg Popovich had a plan, and they executed it magnificently.
Barousis for Greece was 1 of 5, Papapetrou was 3 of 11, and Printezis, who was 16 of 27 in the first round, was only 2 of 10 tonight. Greece really struggling to get going, and a large part of that down to the game plan and the quality of the reigning world champions. What a huge game Greece have to come in a couple of days' time when they have to beat a very good Czech team by 13 to have a chance of progressing.
And they are more than capable of doing that, but margins are going to come into it. They just can't win. They've got to win big. But from what we saw today from the Czech Republic, Greece are a long way away from it. They'll go to Czech Republic, will go to school on what the United States have done here today as far as defensively. And it's going to be a real battle because there's no doubt there's enough talent on the Greek team to do that. It's execution. And then we saw that play which we think was responsible for the little kerfuffle that took place after the game.
And that was the exclamation mark on the win for Coach Popovic and his team, as the USA go 4-0 and stretch their all-round FIBA World Cup win streak to 23 games since they lost back in 2006 in the semi-finals to Greece. The run goes on, and so do they, to the quarter-finals of the FIBA World Cup. Let's take a look what it means for Group K. 4-0, top and through. And a big battle for Greece, who have to beat Czech Republic by 13 or more and hope that the USA beat Brazil as well in 2 days' time. It's been a pleasure having your company here in Shenzhen at the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup in China.